So there's no state income tax. The free things to do are endless, and there are a ton of options for cheap eats. But in 2021, St. Pete and the Tampa Bay area were ranked amongst some of the top cities to move to in the country for various reasons. So what does that mean for 2022? Is St. Pete still an affordable city to live in? Well, we're about to find out as I'm breaking down the cost of living in St. Pete so you can get a real feel for what it's like living here. We're jumping into it right now. Welcome if you are new to me and new to my channel. I'm Adam Morjan and I make videos all about what it's like living in the Tampa Bay area, covering the best neighborhoods and things to do so you can get a real feel for what it's like living here. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell because we have a ton of great content to share with you. You're not going to want to miss it. And if you're thinking of moving to the Tampa Bay area, I am a licensed realtor, so see that number on the screen, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email because my team and I would love to help you find the perfect home for you and your family. A lot has changed in the last 18 to 24 months. The Tampa Bay area has been put in the spotlight for various reasons, and the area's growth can not only be seen, but felt. Cost of goods, home prices, and pretty much everything across the board is now more expensive. When the cost to live rises, it hits people differently. Some gain wealth and move forward, and some it just becomes tough to make ends meet. There's no doubt this is happening across the country, but in this video, the plan is to focus in on the St. Petersburg area. So if you plan to move here, you have an idea of what to expect. Jumping right into things because, let's be honest, cost of living is not really a fun and flashy thing to learn about. So let's not sugarcoat it any further. Home prices have risen sharply since 2020, but with the rise in interest rates, I do believe that we have seen the drastic increase of home prices come to a halt. I believe home prices are returning to a more normal pattern, and I don't foresee them dropping or rising sharply over the next 6 months. Looking at current prices in the St. Pete area, let's compare the median home price to the average home price. The median home price in July of 2022 is $450,000, where the average home price sold was $585,000. The median home price is more accurate here as it's not price sensitive to higher luxury sales prices, which will affect the overall outcome. Now, I want to dive a little deeper into the current home prices because I often hear the market is overpriced.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I can understand how it feels like that because based on the sharp increase, but we were very reasonably priced for decades, possibly even labeled more affordable. But as a budding city, it's only natural home prices will rise. Another factor is our low inventory. We just crossed 1 month worth of inventory in our market, which is still historically low. A balanced market, where it's not a seller's market or a buyer's market, is 6 months worth of inventory, and we are far from that number.
Close. So close.
In saying that, let's take a look at this chart that shows our current inventory of homes on the market. You can see 400,000 to 600,000 has the most inventory with 587 homes. The 300,000 to $500,000 bracket has 419 homes. And then 600,000 to $1 million homes with 386. Majority of our homes are priced between 300,000 and 600,000, which I would say is average for a booming city, and Best Places rankings agree with me. They have St. Pete home prices ranking just under the Florida average and national average. Understanding the St. Pete area can be tricky as there are a lot of different pockets with a lot of different price points. Beach living, waterfront mansions, historic districts, and condo living are just the tip of the iceberg. When you get a chance, take a look at this video I shot that helps you understand some of the neighborhoods, and if you have questions, reach out to my team as we would love to help you find the right location that fits your budget. Now let me give you some first-hand numbers. I did some research and it's pretty much all over the board. So I figured there is nothing better than sharing my personal figures when it comes to things like car insurance, electric bills, etc. Before doing so, let's take a quick look at what Best Places says about St. Pete. They rank groceries, healthcare, and utilities just above the Florida and national average, while ranking housing and transportation just below the average. Not sure I 100% agree with this, but it's a good start. Okay, so let's start with home insurance since we just talked about home prices. Very in line with the Tampa Bay area. My home is older and built in the 1970s. It's roughly 2,600 square feet, and I pay around $3,500 annually for homeowners insurance. This does cover hurricane insurance, but I am not in a flood zone, so I don't have to have that coverage. Homeowners insurance recently rose here, and a big part of that is due to specific companies scamming insurance companies to put new roofs on. This has caused a ripple effect in the insurance industry, and many insurance companies have raised costs to accommodate such changes. Recently, our governor made some stops to the changes as insurance companies didn't want to insure you if your roof was over 15 years old. So the governor changed that to say that if the roof has 5 years left, you're good. We will see how all of this shakes out, but for now, this is a good example for you. FYI, flood insurance scares a lot of people. Just know if you're in a flood zone X, as I am, you do not need coverage. It is optional, and if you are zoned A or AE, it is required and will be a separate policy. You can easily look up to see if your property is in a flood zone on the FEMA flood map. So what about utilities? Recently, locals have seen the costs go up as well, but still not horrible. For my 2,600 square foot home, we pay an average around $235 a month for electric and about $110 a month for water, trash, irrigation, and sewer. Keep in mind, I have 2 little girls that either take a bath or an extremely long shower every day, and I'm forever washing clothes. We also have a large pool that we have to top off in the summer months as the water evaporates, and we have to irrigate the lawn most of the year. I also don't have a gas bill as everything here is electric. So those 2 bills pretty much cover all my utilities. And what about taxes? That's always fun to talk about. So property tax for your home isn't the easiest equation to solve. So a good rule of thumb here is to look up the property appraiser and calculate roughly 0.91% or slightly under 1% of the assessed value of your home. If the property is your primary residence, you can file for a homestead exemption and get up to an extra $50,000 off your assessed value, which lowers your tax obligation. Being a primary residence, it also grandfathers you in at a max cap rate of 3%, meaning your taxes cannot increase by more than 3% per year, even as values rise. And the last bonus, which is my favorite, if you live in the home for more than 2 years as your primary residence, you don't have to pay up to $500,000 of capital gains for married couples when you go to sell your home. And that's one of the best investments out there, and I have used it 4 times now. Sales tax in the area is 7%, which can be broken down into 6% state tax and 1% county tax. Now, no one loves taxes though, so you will be happy to know that living in Florida, there is no state income tax. The job market is booming in St. Pete, and it doesn't matter if you work in St. Pete or work remote. If St. Pete is your primary residence, you get taxed in Florida and get to keep more of your income. So no state income tax for the win. Going back to best places as a reference, they stated transportation is lower than the national average. I have lived here my entire life, so I'll take its word for that, but 2 things come to mind with transportation: gas and car insurance. What's important to know is that mostly everyone here owns a car and drives. I mean, yes, we have a bus system, but it's not great. We also have Uber and Lyft, but that's not reliable for everyday use 24/7. So knowing that everyone has a car, it's pretty easy to get around, and there is plenty of parking in most places. Because everyone drives, there are more accidents, and insurance can be a little costly depending on where you're coming from. I have an F-150 with a clean record, and my wife drives a Honda Pilot, that mom there, so she can caravan the kiddos everywhere, and we each pay about $1,200 a year. And I also feel that gas is pretty reasonable. Currently in July of 2022, prices are around $3.50 per gallon. As a family, we often take our RV on road trips, and I feel like most places are on par with our prices or possibly slightly more. The one shocker was when we went to California, prices were almost double. And at one point, I couldn't believe it. It was almost $7 a gallon. I feel groceries can fluctuate no matter where you are, and much of it depends on your style of shopping. Some people go to Save a Lot and shop cheap, and others go to Whole Foods or Fresh Market for organic options and possibly pay a little bit more. Or you could be like my wife that goes to Trader Joe's because it's so-called cheap and comes out with food for like 3 weeks. Between Trader Joe's, Amazon, and Target, I'm pretty much going broke with 3 girls in the house. Now, healthcare is really good in the area. My wife works in the healthcare industry, and don't get me wrong, there is nothing pretty about hospitals and insurance companies. They aren't your friends, but the good news is that there are a ton of options here, and all are very accessible. Advent Health, Baycare, Moffitt, USF Health, Johns Hopkins, the VA, all have campuses nearby, and you can find a walk-in clinic or emergency care pretty much every few miles. No one city is perfect, but I do feel even though prices have risen in the Tampa Bay area across the board, it's a great place to live. And if you're going to pay for living in a city of your choice, you can't go wrong with choosing the Tampa Bay area. If you're planning to move to the Tampa Bay area or maybe just curious, make sure to check out our channel, Tampa Florida Living. And if you would like our help in finding your next home, see that number on the screen, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email because my team and I would be happy to help. Until that next video, catch you later.